Hello, hello, hello. I am so happy to be back. We missed last week because I was in the middle of nowhere and had no internet. So I'm going to give it just a second for people to pop on. For those of you who have joined before, thank you so much for coming back. As always, I am Laurel Dawn Houston, the creator of Body Mapping. For those of you who have never been on here before, let me explain what body mapping is. Body mapping is a compilation of um, body language, of anatomy and physiology, of 20 years of studying people and why they look the way they look, their features, their proportions, their symmetry. In a nutshell, body mapping is why you look the way you look and just how amazing that is. And my favorite part about body mapping is this. You cannot compare your body to anyone else's body and ever actually understand what it is your body is trying to tell you. Our body can measure against itself. So my thumb measures my eye, but my thumb will never accurately measure anyone else's eye. So as soon as I compare who I am to who someone else is, I am wrong about who I am and I am wrong about who they are. So I love teaching this to women because it has really helped a lot of women. My chair is going to go down. It's really helped a lot of women get out of comparison, get out of that. Her body is better, worse, whatever. And today, when I pulled the card, I got the card about knees. So there's more than one card for knees because knees have several different meanings. But the particular card that I pulled today for knees has to do with our connections to our higher power or connections in general. So I've got to give a little bit more detail on this. So knees are all about, well, knees are a joint first. Physiologically, knees are a joint and they connect the upper part of your leg, so your thigh, with the lower part of your leg, your calf and your shin. And I have done a video on calves, so if you have questions about calves, you can either find it on my YouTube channel, which is Reflections Inside and Out, or you can look in the unit section on this group and just look for calves, and there's a video on that. So physiologically, your knee connects your thigh with the lower half of your leg. So in body mapping, it also connects the meanings of those two things. So calves are about your ability to lift yourself up. They're about your standards, their values. Your thighs are a lot of where we hold our childhood and our childhood memories and our childhood relationships. So your knee is something that connects those two things together. Now, in body mapping, symptoms to me are not good or bad or right or wrong. They're just messages. Symptoms are messages. And when we are sharing or when we are listening, our symptoms usually come and go fairly quickly. And when we're not listening and our body is really struggling, feeling heard, that's when the symptoms last for a long time and they become prolonged and they get achy because we're not listening to our body and our body really wants to be heard. So if the knee is about your connections, especially when you're trying to process or overcoming childhood traditions or childhood traumas or childhood memories, and you are trying to lift yourself up and above them, you can also have problems with your knees because the knee is the thing that's connecting them together. However, if you are using your intuition, using your inspiration, using God, using source, using whatever your word is, if you are connected to that inspiration and you're following it, you don't usually get throbbing knee pain. You could get a small ache because usually when we are aching, regardless of where it is in the body, an ache is usually our heart trying to get us to go towards what we yearn for. What are you aching for? What is a desire that you are not striving towards? That's what causes ache in the body. It's a yearning. It's usually a yearning of the heart. Burnings and achings are yearnings of the heart. And with your knees, your knee is what connects you to inspiration. Your knee is what connects you to your higher power. And so for a lot of people, when they are having knee problems, and like I said at the beginning, this is one of two. So when I pull the card for the second part of knees, then we'll go there. Um, but for knees and for connection and connecting to the universe and connecting to your higher power, whenever I'm working with people one-on-one, whenever I'm working with my clients and they're having knee problems, one of the first questions I ask them is this: what inspiration have you been given that you refuse to follow? Now, let me be very clear on what I mean about inspiration. Inspiration does not come from man. Inspiration doesn't come from a post on social media or what is going on in the world around you, okay? Inspiration is you're in the shower and all of a sudden you have an aha. You have a thought to call someone. You don't know why you're supposed to call that person. You just know that you're supposed to call them and that thought won't leave you. That's what I mean by inspiration. And you could have been in the shower trying to figure out, how you're going to pay your bills that month, and all of a sudden you get a nudge to call your neighbor, and you're like, well, they're not going to pay my bills for me. Well, no, but maybe they need service, and maybe part of your give and receive cycle is off, and so you are being inspired by the universe to reach out and show love to someone so that it raises your vibration to the level you need to be at to receive that amount of money. None of our actions, when we are following inspiration, none of our actions make sense. I know that's true for me, and I know that's true for a lot of clients. When you're truly following inspiration, it never makes sense until after you do it, and then you look back and go, oh, that's why that mattered. That's why that mattered. So for those of you that are struggling with knee problems right now, one of the possibilities is you're not listening and taking action on the inspiration you're receiving. You could be taking advice from people around you rather than the universe, our source that knows really the actions we need to take. So the other part with knees, because I've had a lot of people ask me, well, how do you know if your knee, because body mapping is all about proportions and symmetry. So what size should your knee be? So the hard part about your knee is that most of us can't measure our knees because we have extra around our knees. And so it's not just that you are like, you have to be able to feel through because your knee is a bone. The measurement for it, however, if you were to bend your leg so that so your kneecap pops out, make a fist with your thumb in, not thumb out, thumb in, okay? If you put your hand on your bent knee, that is the size that your kneecap and all of that joint should be, okay? If when you do that, okay, you can't do it with when your leg is straight because all you see is your kneecap and the proportion is all off and all weird. And all of you will be like, that's not right. I know, bend your leg. So I am not talking about the muscle or the extra fat on the side. Like you should be able to bend your leg, make a fist with your thumb in, put it on top of your knee, and the sides of your hand should go down the sides of your knee joint. Okay, so what if the knee is bigger than your fist? And again, bone, not soft tissue. So what if your knee is bigger than that? It is easier for you to connect through meditation. It is easier for you to connect to the universe and to higher power when you are grounded and willing to listen. So on one side of the coin, if you have that larger knee, on one side of the coin, if you are, because it's so easy for you to connect with your higher power, and because it's so easy for you to connect with the universe, for some, you use that as your strength and you constantly stay connected. And for some of you, because you maybe have lost sight of who your source energy is or who your creator is, the other side of that is that you try to connect to anything and everything. And so you either have a really strong connection to source or you have really toxic connections to a lot of different people. And just if you went, well, I have both, then where are you putting your energy? Are you putting your energy towards connecting to your higher power, or are you putting your energy towards connecting in relationships that aren't really getting you anywhere? If you do your measurement with thumb in, and your knee is smaller than that, your knee is smaller than your fist, um, you may have to put more effort into your connection, but the beautiful part of it is you stay connected more, you're more prone to stay connected. So people that have smaller knees, they don't like to disconnect because it took so much effort to connect in the first place. Um, and the really cool part for me about knees, uh, regardless of the religion, most religions of the world, when you are connecting to your higher power, you do it by getting on your knees. It is a humbling stance. And feet are about connection to the earth, and knees are about connection to the heavens. So when you are praying or meditating, or however you are, if you are kneeling with your knees and the top of your feet on the ground, you are connected to both the heavens and the earth, and you are far more likely to get your answer. So if you have been taught to pray by kneeling, there is actually a very deep energetic connection in that pose. And it really helps align your body physically, mentally, spiritually, to be able to receive that inspiration. So if you are having knee problems right now, ask yourself, what inspiration am I not following? What have I heard and not done? Because for so many of us, we are wanting that connection with Source. We are wanting that connection with our higher power. And yet, when we get it, we don't listen. So, um, this isn't about religion. This is about you connecting to a source that is larger and more powerful than you are. And I call mine God, but regardless of what you call your higher power, if your knees are aching and throbbing, they are trying to speak to you. They are trying to get you to listen because they are trying to help you to progress forward. All joints, whether it is your knuckles, your shoulder, your elbows, your hips, your knees, your ankles, joints in general are about connection. And your knees are specifically about connecting to your higher power. They usually, because your knee connects your standards and values to your childhood, which is your thigh, you are usually trying to overcome your past, but you're trying to do it on your own. And ladies, when women try to do everything on their own, it hurts their knees, it hurts their lower back, it hurts their neck and their shoulders, because we are not meant to do everything alone. And as we start into this holiday season, I just want to take a moment to remind all of you that are in hustle and overwhelm and trying to keep up and trying to get things done quickly. When it's over, did you take the moment you were longing for to just enjoy it? I know a lot of the people that watch these videos are already signed up for the Out of Overwhelm mini course. For those of you who have not heard of that yet, it starts a week from today, so December 7th. Um, it was a challenge, and then I went, that's silly. I don't want to do this as a challenge. I just want to give content. And I especially want to give content to these women as they are getting into holiday shopping and Christmas parties and all of the whatever that's happening over the next couple weeks. If you are someone who is tired of constantly feeling like you are getting to the end of your day and then going, what the crap did I even do today? You are tired of feeling unsupported. You are tired of feeling like you do everything and no one cares. Please, please, please join the Out of Overwhelm mini course. It's only $37. Let that be your stocking stuffer to yourself. But it's 5 hours. It's 5 days, an hour a day. It's live content, it's not pre-recorded, so you will be able to ask questions and interact with me. Please consider joining that, especially if you are having problems with your knees, having problems with headaches, having problems with shoulders. Get into the Out of Overwhelm mini course and let me mentor you for the next week. The other thing, a lot of people have been asking me about these cards that I am using to pull. These are my cards. I did create them. I ordered some for my students that are in the Year of You journey, which is my year-long mentoring program. And so I didn't order a whole bunch of them because I didn't know they would be so popular. So I have 14 decks. That's it. I have 14 decks that I can share. I'm going to put a link in the comments right now. If you're one of the first 14, I will happily ship them to you. There's no like, there, you can just go on there. Someone was like, "Oh, it's Cyber Monday," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll put them on sale then." So they're usually a $25 deck. They're $20. That includes your shipping. I have 14, so when they're gone, they're gone. And if I get more people order them, then I guess I will order some more. Um, I love that people want them. I did not anticipate that. Thank you for loving them. And I hope that you can tune into your knees. And if you want the pain to go away, ask yourself, what inspiration have I been given that I am choosing to not follow? I hope that you had a fabulous Thanksgiving and that your sugar coma has ended. I look forward to seeing you ladies next week. And for those of you that are in the Out of Overwhelm mini course, I look forward to seeing you every single day next week. I love you and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you.